Whether you absolutely love the original or are dying to get your hands on the new one, Capcom has released a demo, a playable teaser, if you will, for their upcoming remake of the coveted and highly awarded Resident Evil 4. Today I got my chance to play it hands-on the PS5 to really just kind of give you guys my opinions on the game and whether I think the full release is worth your time. So stay tuned and let's roll the thing. Oh my god. Oh my god. First things first, we cannot talk about a newer, more modern Resident Evil game without talking about how goddamn pretty it is. Okay? Like, they're absolutely gorgeous games. They literally do nothing but blow me away time and time again. But our friends at Capcom have done it again. They've literally made this game so goddamn realistic and beautiful. And for a game like Resident Evil 4, blood, guts, gore, and the natural surrounding forest landscape that you'll be traversing for about 80% of the entire experience is absolutely breathtaking. And obviously, I was very excited to get into it and really look around for the first time myself. We're just in. Look at this. Oh my god. Dude, it's so pretty. But everything from the trees to the grass on the ground to miscellaneous objects and tools hidden around the entire in-game environment have so much craft and care put into them that it's just absolutely mind-boggling to look at. So as far as graphics go, you have no concern in being worried about anything on that front. It's absolutely stunning, and I cannot wait to see more of it when the full game releases. And I know what you're thinking. Graphics, especially in this day and age on next-gen consoles and PCs, they're always going to look a lot prettier than any previous generation of console. So is it really fair to judge something based on that kind of account? Not necessarily, especially nowadays. But something we can judge a video game on, and have been judging a video game on for a very long time, is gameplay and game feel. And Resident Evil 4 definitely changes the formula of the original up just enough to keep it interesting, but also really remixes certain aspects of it to keep things from the original quite well in mind. Ooh. I got the jabs. For instance, the kick that Leon can perform in the original Resident Evil 4 is no longer just tied to a specific button. In my experience, it became available only after you'd done enough damage to an enemy with a melee and or firearm kind of weapon, allowing you to push the X button to kind of perform that famous kick that Leon is known for in Resident Evil 4. Moving on to movement. No pun intended, but the movement does feel very good. It feels very much like the original. It feels sluggish, like most Resident Evil titles and their remakes have been, like 2 and 3, but it doesn't quite take away the level of speed when you run. I feel like in the previous remakes they've done for 2 and 3, I do believe that the running feels more like jogging in those games. And while there's nothing wrong with that because it kind of helps with the pacing and like the atmosphere that the game mood tries to set, I feel like it works better in a situation like this. I would also like to touch on the gunplay and the knife play. With the melee and things of that nature, obviously that stance hasn't changed, and obviously you get to have the full haptic feedback every time you stab a villager. That sounds so wrong. But it is quite nice, especially with playing on the PS5 and using the DualSense haptic feedback provided by the controller. I had an absolutely insanely immersive experience. 3D audio and all that, obviously it's amazing, but you know, the gunplay feels great. It's not too quick. It's not like a Call of Duty where you can like up the sensitivity to be insane, although I'm sure there will be ways that you can fix that in the main game in the full release, I mean, when it comes out. I feel like the gunplay and the melee play are again brought from the original 2 remakes that I've mentioned so many times now, but I do feel like it adds a lot more character to the way that Leon moves and things of that nature, not to mention just how combat works, and I think they do a really effective job and keep things pretty well in mind about how players feel about the original. So I feel like they're honoring that a lot. Aside from graphics and gameplay, however, though, I think that this demo really allows people who have never really played the original because they didn't want to or were too scared to really kind of grasp what the beginning of the story will look like, especially because it kind of takes place about 2 minutes after the actual intro sequence is done, and allows you to go all the way into the town, for those of you who have played, where you will meet a lot of enemies, especially one that the demo is named after, that I don't really want to spoil too much for you. But that's an important one, and he's scary as hell in the remake. He looks every bit as terrifying as he did in the original. As far as pros go, I think it's a great looking game. The demo plays beautifully. If that gameplay transfers over, I think that they have something really, really solid that could absolutely be a faithful remake to the Resident Evil 4 name. Obviously, with such a beloved title, it's very, very difficult and very scary, because you have to respect the source material and things of that nature. The only con, and people who have played the game will know what I'm talking about when I say this, but the only con that I have is in the beginning near the beginning, I guess, of the original, there's a dog that you can help rescue from a bear trap, and if you do so, it will help you later in the game during a boss fight, and you're like, wow, that's really cool, because it makes you feel like your choice matters. In this game, however, you walk up on an area where there's just a dead dog. No! No! Did they kill the dog? No fucking shot that they did that. Bro. It made me really sad to see that, because I obviously that was one of my favorite parts of the original. And, you know, it just guts. It's gutting, because I loved that dog. And maybe they'll change it in the full release. I doubt it, though, because, you know, they're kind of trying to showcase some new stuff, and I feel like they're just going a different direction with the whole thing, which sucks, but that is the way that it is. And that's, like, aside from everything else, like, I really do think that that's my only gripe in the entire experience that I have with the demo. Everything is great, running around, picking items up, all that stuff. Not to mention that the inventory system is still the same kind of briefcase look as the original, which made me so happy, because obviously that just proves that they're staying faithful, and the people who are working on this really do have a knack for details and really understand the importance of that stuff. It just makes me really happy to see that they included a lot of that stuff, especially even if it's for fan service, you know, just to keep the tone of it. It is a remake, but that doesn't mean you have to change everything. The way I see it is that it's a faithful way for Capcom to come back to this game that has been wildly successful and that people still buy to this day, the original, and also just allow people to experience it in a whole different way, or for the first time ever on modern platforms in a way that won't feel as clunky or maybe a little outlandish as the other one. But yeah, I mean, without giving too much away, obviously the demo is available right now on PlayStation 5 consoles. I believe that's the only place where it is available, unfortunately. But if you manage to get your hands on a PlayStation 5 and really have some spare time, it takes about 20 minutes to get through on average. So if you really, really, really want to go and check it out for yourself, please go to the PlayStation Store, look up Resident Evil 4, and download the demo. It is totally free for any PlayStation 5 owner. If anyone else can find it anywhere else, leave a comment down below telling me I've missed it. I just haven't seen it in any of the research I've done. But yes, I think it's an absolutely amazing demo, and I cannot wait for the full release later this month. It is going to be so fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, because if you did, please hit that like button, subscribe for more awesome content on the DeadPixel channel. We've got a bunch of content out right now, over 150 videos to be exact. So if you like video games, there's a high likelihood that you're going to find something that you enjoy here. So if you want to go and start checking out some of that stuff, click on one of the sides of me right now to click a randomly selected video, and, you know, check out the rest of the Let's Talk Gaming playlist over on this side. Obviously, there's a subscribe button somewhere on the screen. And yeah, I've been Ty Gamer. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, everybody.